Hey guys, welcome back. So I'm trying something different today. I am going to try and turn this turtle into a solar light. Now, I have been racking my brain for 2 days trying to figure out. I did make this silicone stopper, or whatever you want to call it, plug or whatever. So I thought, because silicone sticks to silicone, I thought, like, if I just put it in there, like if it went there, it would probably stay and the resin wouldn't get underneath it. But I don't want it up that high, I don't believe. So let me, because then the light would be here. I kind of wanted it back here a little bit, or like in the middle. So, and because it has this rib right here, it's not going to stay there. And then I was like, if I put it here, it somewhat sticks, but I'm afraid it would like pop off. Although I got a good suction there, so all right, maybe I'll leave it. Because what I wanted to do was to pour all the way up to here. And then I'm going to put this. So I need to somehow cut this out. So let me grab a marker. Really, where's my marker here? Well, I got a pen. Let me try that. So I pre-cut this because I want this to slide down over that once I get the resin in. So I'm just going to try to get a little spot started. And then I can just kind of go around. And I'm going to try to go a little bit bigger than my circle, I think. Let me try that. Yeah, I'm going to have to go a little bit bigger. All right. Because I want there to be a hole in the top for that light to go down into this. So, like once I can get that in, all right, you know what, I guess so my other thought was putting a little bit of UV resin around this and curing it, because this part's going to be clear. And then I'm going to put some sand in his feet. So I am going to put some eyes in him though. So I've got some eyes out. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting those in. Yes, I don't know if this is going to work or not. I mean, worst case scenario, I suppose I could have my husband just drill a hole down through, but where's the fun in that? All right. So this is one of my unique projects that I'm doing. I have another one that I'm going to be starting very soon. And that's going to also include some little plug things like this. So we're going to see. Let's see. Let's get the eyes in. And then we will see where we're at. I mean, I suppose if there's a little bit of resin that gets underneath, it won't be that bad, but I would rather not. All right. So let me grab my tweezers here. So his eyes are right there. I've got, these are the bigger ones, which it's really hard to kind of get them in. All right, so basically that's what it's gonna look like in there. And I do have batteries in my little UV light, so I'm kind of hoping that I can get it secured with this, and then I'll put the big light over it, is what I'm hoping. So we're just going to go and see what we got going on here. All right. So I have one glove on because I am and this bugger is so big. Oh, wait a minute. I have a little something down in his head. Now, if I knew his eyes would stay, I would do it while he was like inside out. But I'm afraid they're going to pop off if I do it that way. Because that would just make my life so much easier, guys. Look. You know what? I'm going to try it. What the heck? Right? Let's just try it. All right, so I'm going to put some UV resin there. I'm going to put his little eye. I don't know if this is going to be strong enough. I don't even know if this is the right light. I got it with my glow-in-the-dark pigment powder. I'm assuming it is going to work. Oh, yes. All right. Now I'm going to try and get this side. Put that one right there. my God, if this works, guys, this is just going to make life so much easier to put eyes in this bugger. But I don't know if they're going to pop off when I turn them around. I don't know. How careful can I be? How careful? I'll try to get a little bit from the back side. I don't know if it'll go through the 2 layers, but I'm trying. All right, I'm going to put you on a pause for a minute. I'm going to put this underneath my UV light, and I will be right back. All right, guys. I went to move it, and the head popped in, and the eyes popped out. So, yeah, that did not work. So, I'm just going to peel it off. And we're going to just try it this way. I'll just try to feel my way in there, and all right, hang on. I'm going to use half of my UV light. The eyes are tricky, but I know I can get the eyes. It's, kidding me. All right, that one's in there. Oh. Oh my goodness gracious. Why is this giving me such a hard time tonight? Oh. All right, you know what? I'm gonna figure the eyes tonight. I'm gonna figure them. All right. Oh, lordy, lordy. All right. Let me wipe this off. Oh, I'm going to use a baby wipe. And then I'll use some alcohol. I'm just going to wipe that UV out of his face. All right. So, I want the wider part. All right. Is it going to stay? No. But, hang on. I could do that because I'm only going to bring it up to here. And that way, because I'm thinking about UVing resining around it to kind of hold it in place, but I don't know if that's going to work. Well, I guess the only way to do it is to try it, right? All right, I'm going to put just a circle. I'm going to hold pressure down on it. And I'm just going to because I'm using the clear resin on this part anyways. And where is my pokey tool? I have a bubble. All right. I've been racking my brains for 2 days, like, how can I make this work? There's got to be a way. If I can just get enough of a seal around it, and then I can pour the clear resin. I might put the stick, if I can get this to stay, I might put the stick as well, just to kind of give it that extra hold. But I just don't want the resin underneath. I want there to be a complete hole through his body, if that makes any sense. All right, so I'm going to give that the 2 minutes just to see how that's going to work. I have my film all set to go. Then I would just have to mix up my resin and then put that film on the top, and we would be good to go. But I don't know. Seems to be staying in there. Right, so the outside is hard. So maybe what I should do is cure it from both sides. If this works, guys, this is going to be like really cool to be able to pretty much make anything be a solar light. You could put small ones in, big ones. We'll see. Oh no. And I think I just broke the seal. All right, hang on. And I did. Crap. Crap on a cracker. All right, I'm just going to put a little bit more where it kind of released. And then I'm going to leave it down. It's not staying. All right, well, let me mess with this for a little bit, see if I can get it to reseal, and I will be right back. All right, guys, I ended up putting it in towards the front where I said I didn't want it, but I put a little bit of UV resin there. I smeared it with my finger and it's staying. So we're just going to go with that for now. And then if it succeeds, we will, we'll try it again. And I can just kind of rack my brain in some different directions to see what would be the easiest way to get it where I want it. So right now I just made up 8 ounces of resin. I have it in the debubbler, and I'm gonna just put that little bit in the bottom. We're gonna let that cure. I really wanted to do this all in one pour, but I don't know. So if I pour the 8 and it seems like it's staying, then I might mix up more, because just the shell part holds 32 ounces. So it's a lot of resin if it doesn't work. So I'm like, well, maybe if I do the 8, if that cures, then when I put the next batch over it, it should be fine at that point. So that's kind of what the plan is right now. And I'm just using the Let's Resin casting resin, the 1-to-1 ratio. And that is all we're using. And it's going to be clear. So I figured I would clean up some of this little excess while we were waiting. So if any of you have tried this, because I've looked everywhere to see if anybody has done something like this. I've seen other type of lights put in things, but I've never seen something going all the way through a resin piece. So if somebody has made it, put it in the comments. I would like to check out how you did it. Because like I said, I am still new at this and I am still learning. So I'm like, even if it doesn't come out good, I know my daughter is the inspiration behind this. So I know she would still take it. But Yeah, I was really hoping that it would, you know, come out good. So we will just keep our fingers crossed. That's only got a few more minutes and that should be done. So I will just pick up some of this mess. I will put you on a brief hold and I will be right back when that resin is ready and we will pour it. I just figured I would show you I have 2 4-ounce cups in there. Alrighty guys, I'm back. So I am going to just spray a little bit of alcohol in the shell, but this is my resin. Look at that, no bubbles. All right. So I am going to try and pour it over my stick. So far, so good, guys. So technically, I could have went with just the 4 ounces. If I would have known it was going to stay this good, I would have mixed up the deep pour resin, but we're going to go with this and we'll see how it fares till morning. All right, I'm not going to spray with alcohol. I think I'm going to use my baby torch just a little bit. And if they just weren't so hard to squeeze the thingy. All right, I don't want to torch it too much. I have heard horror stories. I don't want to be one of them. It's a little piece of dust or something. Hang on, I got something on my sticky here. All right, so I'm not gonna put this on the heat mat or anything. I'm just gonna let it do its thing overnight. And we will be back to put this paper on, put more resin, put the paper on, and yeah. So this will be 3 layers, basically. This is the first layer, so we'll just do it in 3 sections, that's all. And then hopefully I can get this thing out. Alrighty, guys, I will see you in the morning. Alrighty, guys, so far this has worked. I've got 24 ounces mixed up, and I put them in separate cups, so I'm just going to get them poured in. I'm gonna try to debubble after each cup pour. And then we're gonna put the film on. And then we will let this cure. And again, this is just the 1:1 Let's Resin casting resin. And I didn't want to move my mold around too much because I didn't want to dislodge the plug, or whatever we're going to call it. I guess we're going to call it a plug because that's what it is. We're plugging a spot. All right. So I am going to take my heat gun and just try to get some of these micro bubbles out. And then I am going to spritz it with 91% isopropyl alcohol. And I got some little something something in there. Just want to make sure that that head all right, so let's get some more poured. I know this is kind of a boring one because it's just clear resin, but if it works, my only fear is because I'm pouring it in layers that we're going to see those lines, and I don't want to see them. From where the 2 different pours meet. All right. And I'm going to run the heat gun again. All right, cup number 3. The last one that I had made like this, I put the film down too low. So that's why I'm making sure I get this up to the top of the bottom of the shell. I mean, it came out good for my first one, but I wanted it to come out better, so. And my daughter does so much to help me with my paint parties. And she's the one that was like, hey, Mom, do you think you could make a solar light in there? And I'm like, oh, let me think. So this one is for my daughter. So I hope it comes out. I'm just trying to get any little bits that from the other cups. All right. Again, we're going to run the heat gun. And I am going to move this and put this on my curing mat so I can try and get the final layer on tonight. So we did unmold our cement statues. They came out amazing. So we're going to pour another set this afternoon. And I will turn that one into a video so that you guys can see it. So yeah, stay tuned for that. So there's like a bubble or something right down in there. And I don't know what it is. It's in the first layer, so I'm screwed at this point. But, all right, so let's get this one poured in. And I just want it to come up to the top of where those flippers are. All right. I think we are good. All right, so again, I'm going to run the heat gun. We're going to get some of those bubbles out, and hopefully then we can place our foil in there. So there's a few little micro bubbles in there, but the little tiny micro ones I can deal with. It's just any big ones that are going to make make a hole. That's the ones I don't want. I did run some of this through my debubbler. I wanted to get it done because I know I've got to start that other project, and I wanted to get this poured, so I just wasn't patient enough to wait for the debubbler. Just trying to stir it around, see if I can get some of them to come up to the surface. All right, so we're looking pretty good. Oh, now I'm nervous because now I've got to put this in. And I don't want it to any bubbles underneath. I just want that to kind of stay. Ooh, come on. Stay to the top of this. All right. So I have some little pieces that I cut off and I saved them specifically in case I didn't have enough to cover the whole thing. So the next layer will be the final layer, and that's where I'm going to put, I'm thinking sand, but it might be, I got to see how many abalone shells that I have. Hang on, I got a hair on my glove. And I don't want that going into my piece. All right. Oh, hang on. And I have a little bit over here. There. Might as well just, use as much as we can of this. All right. this. Just get a little bit to flow over this. Figured if I put some resin on the top, then I might not get the bubbles. A few right there I can see. There we go. All right. All right, guys, I'm going to babysit this for a couple of minutes, and then I will be back to put the final coat on. We'll see you then. Alrighty, guys, I am back. This is all cured. Everything is looking good so far. So I do have my sand, and I have some shells. So I think I'm gonna mix the two in with the feet. So I don't know how it's gonna look, but we're about to find out. So just so you know, I have been a major klutz. I ended up getting 16 ounces of resin mixed, and as I was mixing one, I tipped the jug over, so I don't even know if it was completely already mixed. I don't know. So this could be a complete disaster. I have no clue. So I'm just going to put a little bit of the shells in the feet. I don't want a lot. I do want a few to show, but I don't want there to be a ton. I want it to be more sand. But I just figured this might, you know, just kind of give a different look. I don't know. And then I'll sprinkle some sand. Might as well turn that one over. And then I can kind of move them around with my silicone stick. All right, let's see. We'll see how that goes. And let me get a spoon. And they're all about the same size. And I am going to tint this layer with a little bit of green. Instead of doing a black background, I'm just going to do a dark green, I think, just to change it up. So I don't need these to be completely filled, but I do want to have that sand look in the fins. So I don't even know if the shells are gonna show, but we're gonna find out. And then I'm gonna use the resin that I spilled all over my desk to pour over these. You know, when you're trying to do something and you want it to come out so good, that's like when you make more screw-ups than anything. But when you're just doing something and you're like, I don't really care how it comes out, that's when it comes out perfect. Yeah, that just irritates me. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and let me get out a green alcohol ink. I don't want it to be I don't mind if it's still translucent. I want it to be like a darker green. So underneath this neck we'll have a little bit of green. So this is just the Let's Resin pigment green. It's not an alcohol ink, it's a pigment. So let's see. I just want it to kind of have that sea life kind of color. So this particular one is the one I spilled. So I did not run this one through the debubbler. I do have my last cup in there now, which I just shut off. All right. And this is going to run, but I'm going to try to mix it. And I'll probably end up having to add more sand. The last time I did this, I ended up having so much extra sand. It was crazy. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to do it that way again. So I figure this way here, I can kind of control the amount of sand in the resin. I don't know if that makes any sense at all. I don't know. So I'm hoping that some of these shells will show up, but I don't really know. I can always dump some more in, because I'm going to just finish this layer. I'm not even going to do a fourth layer. I just am not. I just want to make sure that I got all the sand in there coated. And I know some of it's going to come onto the body, which is fine. All right, let's get some in here mixed. I contemplated just doing the shells, and then I'm like, no, it might be too translucent, so I don't know. And then we're just going to pour the clear right over the top of this. I'm just going to give it a little bit to kind of settle in. And, you know, whatever happens, happens. I think I got too many projects going at one time here. Too many big projects, I should say. All right. So let's do this one. Because the last one I had had more pebbles in it than just sand. And it kind of, you know, looked good having that texture. So I was like, well, maybe if I pop some shells in. I'm just hoping that the shells show. But I figured if there is some blank spots, at least it would have like a touch of green. Yeah, you should have seen my hands. Both, I had no gloves on because I was just mixing. So I was like, oh, I don't need my gloves. Yeah, and then I spilled it, and then I had resin everywhere, covered both my hands. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah, it was a mess. All right, so I'm going to need a little bit more sand because I want to fill that little shoulder piece. All right. So it might not stay up in there, but we're trying. All right. So let me color the rest of the resin because I don't want to use a ton of that in case my ratio was messed up from it tipping over. But I figured in the sand, I should be okay. So I'm just gonna mix this up. And as I said, I don't need it really dark. And even if they're different color greens, that's totally okay too. All right, so we're at 7:30 here right now. So I'm going to end up putting this on the heat mat. So hopefully I can demold this like around 10 or 11 tonight. Oh, hang on. I want to get the head filled. I know it's going to flow back, but if if we can get some resin in there. And then I want to get in the tail. So I wasn't really sure how much more resin that I was going to need because of the sand in the shells. So hopefully I didn't make up too much. All right, so let me... The tail is what I really want to make sure that it's full, and there's, nope, there was a bubble in there. As I just made another mess. Are you kidding me? I cannot do anything tonight. Oh, Lord. Hang on. See what I mean? I just am, you know, it's one of those days where I should have just said, you know, I'll have to wait one more day to be able to get this video, but I'm trying to be so good at posting a little, at least, you know, a couple of times a week. And I'm trying to do some different stuff, but I think maybe the next two will be, you know, something that I'm used to. I'm just saying. I take the stress off here a little bit. All right, I'll clean that up after. Get out of there, Bubbles. Come on. Same with the tail. All right, I am going to take one glove off so that I can run my heat gun and not get it completely disgusting. All right, let me get this other. Other cup out. All right, I'm going to try to stir with my my left hand so I don't have to put a glove on. So this just came out of the debubbler, so I'm gonna try not to get too many. I gotta use my other hand. I just do. All right. A baby wipe out. Oh my God, my desk is a mess, guys. And this is getting warm because there's a lot in here. I'm not going to dome it until I get it onto my heat mat. All right. So the bulk of these are staying down. Which is a good thing. And I don't want to go over this. I can go right to the top, but that's like the max that I can go so that I have a way of trying to push it out. So we're going to end up, I'm going to move this. I'm going to put it on the heat mat. And I will hopefully be back later tonight to demold this and see if it worked. So if you end up seeing the video, then it worked to a point, at least. I want to make sure there's no little bubbles sticking anywhere. All right. So I will get this moved over to the heat mat. I'll get my stuff cleaned up and I will be back. Alrighty, guys, I am back and hoping, pray this works. So this is the turtle, and these are the two extras that I made. So we're going to unmold these first. So this one here is a little unicorn. All right, I guess I'm gonna need some alcohol in here because I don't want to rip my mold. And these should be really, really hard because I did put it on the heat mat. Oh, look it. Let me move this out of the way here so you can actually see. He's really, really cute. Let me just wipe him up because now I've got alcohol all over him. There, that's the little unicorn. I got a little trimming on the bottom, but not bad. All right, so we have one success. The unicorn is what I made from the second extra, the second batch of extra, and this is from the first batch. And this one here is a faceted bear, and I do have a little bit of cleanup to do here. I don't know if you can see it. Right there. But I can deal with that. All right, let me get some alcohol in his head. There we go. Looky how cute. There's a few tiny, tiny little air micro bubbles, but other than that, it is amazing. All right, where is my X-Acto knife? Yeah. And let me just go around this a little bit. This one doesn't have much. Just a little by its tittos. There. All right. Let me flip my mold, and then we are going to get to this turtle. All right, so. All right. Oh, let me turn my other light on here, so you guys can get a little bit better view. All right. Well, please work, please work. Oh, his tail came out really good. There was a couple little tiny bubbles. I came back down, and there was a few putting it on the heat mat, but I can live with those. Those are just little. This bugger is heavy. I can feel the rubber on the other side. I think it's gonna work. as long as I can get that out. Oh, please work, please work. All right, let me fix my mold. Yes. Oh my God, are we ready? Oh, but I don't know if I'm gonna get that out. Oh, he came out beautiful. Oh, but now to get this thing out. All right, let me try to... All right. Let me see. If I went through all this and now I can't get this little plug out, I'm going to be so upset. And I have to push it out this way because this side's a little bit bigger. All right, let me try to put a little alcohol in this end. All right, so I might not have thought this part through all the way. If I can just get enough. Oh. Maybe. If I can get that down. Oh, oh, it's coming. Oh my God, guys. Look it. It worked. It worked, guys. Now I can see a little bit from where I put that UV resin. It was not smooth, but oh my gosh. All right, let me cut the tag off. Oh. So you can put the stake on it, and then you can put this into the ground, and you have a solar light. Oh my God, guys. So for as much anxiety as this thing cost me, it is so worth it. Oh my word. Wow. What do you guys think? So now I know getting this to adhere was the most challenging part. So I know if I do it again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this cavity with the UV resin so that it's smooth, because all I did was took my finger and went around. So if I did it again, I would just make sure that I just filled this one little shell piece with the UV resin once I got this in, and then I could do a deep pour and pour the whole shell in one. There are a few little bubbles in there. That's not, I'm not concerned with that at all. Some of the shells showed up, not all of them. So what I would maybe do next time I would UV resin the shells down in a few spots and then place the sand. So yeah, I know for next time. And the light is on, but you can't see it. But yeah, oh my God, guys. Is this not stinking cute? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go outside and put this in the ground and get some final pictures. And oh my God, I'm so excited. Alrighty, guys, I know this is going to be a long one, a lot of frustration, but the end result was phenomenal. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. Comment below, give it a thumbs up. All those things help my algorithm so more people can see my videos. I'm trying to get better at doing them. I'm still learning, so just bear with me. And thank you guys. Have a fantastic day. Bye, guys.